Our current modern world paradigm has disengaged us from the enchantment of life. Fragmented, deadened, cut off, we often don't connect with that which provides vitality and meaning. In addition, when an event happens, those still living in consensus consciousness do not take responsibility for, nor see that they have set up the reality they are experiencing. This rationalistic, deterministic philosophy of existence is alienating and disempowering. And it is clear that with multiple systems and governments and societies failing, it has now run its course as a dominant worldview. Yet, the universe reveals its magic and inner wisdom all the time, reflecting back to us that which we create. Those with intuition and heart are attuned. What is the language of the cosmos? There are many systems, but one of the most precise is astrology, which when practiced with integrity and alignment, is the most elegant and sophisticated tool for understanding the world and oneself. It speaks to the many layers of existence, including our physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual realms. And it is as effective in providing us with an overarching view of our past, as well as myriad potentials for our future. Astrology in its higher form is metaphysics in action, and hence the laws of polarity, correspondence, and attraction apply. The system is akin to a four-dimensional chess game in which self, time, space, and energy all intersect in a matrix that is vibrant and multidimensional. A knowledge of astrological symbolism as it relates to one's birth chart is invaluable in reconnecting us to our center, our power, and our personal creativity. Time is cyclical, and we tend to encounter similar themes throughout our lives that serve to redirect us back onto our paths. We can lead a Groundhog Day kind of existence, which most people experience. Same stories, different players. Or we can rewrite the script to forge a better outcome, one that is more commensurate with our soul's evolutionary desires. This can be achieved by understanding our chosen templates, birth chart life script, noting the evolving cosmic climate, and calibrating our actions and responses accordingly. Jesus and Buddha and all spiritual leaders had birth charts too. But at some point, as ascended beings, they were able to overcome the mundane elements of their horoscopes. But even with these great masters, we can track events and passages in their human existence. They simply chose to live their chart from the highest level, and that is open to us as well. We can transcend our soul maps by flowing and expanding with planetary energies rather than resisting and shutting down the impetus to grow. As humans evolve, the astrological symbols will evolve as well, yet their quintessential meaning will remain intact. The archetypal symbols of astrology, the planets and signs, are plastic and can expand beyond what we currently know and understand. So forget what you ever believed about the efficacy or relevance of astrology to date, particularly those forms that seal one's fate or limit one's potential. With quantum cosmology, we are seeking to move beyond current astrological paradigms and bring forth our divine essence as creators. We are all part of Source, and our chart reveals how we express a particular flavor of existence. By mastering and loving that which we are, we can revel in the dignity and divinity within. And we get to play and co-create with the universe in expressing our unique style of being. Quantum cosmology shows the inherent blueprint and precise timing in which our individual awakening can occur. In addition to our personal journeys, we have all incarnated now to participate in current and upcoming world events. We have chosen to be here as we have ushered in new civilizations in the past or dealt with the dramatic transitional breaches between worlds. This is what 2012 is all about, a dismantling of the current reality. And we can reference past historical epics to see that it will be dramatic and revolutionary. It is not the end of the world, but the end of the world as we know it. In terms of the cosmology, right now we are all experiencing a once-in-a-lifetime transit of Uranus, planet of brilliance, disruption, and chaos in the sign of Aries, heat-seeking, new beginnings, instinctual drive for existence. The last time the world experienced this transit was from 1927 to 1934, and even a cursory knowledge of history reveals it was an incendiary time, with many paradigmatic shifts in culture, economics, politics, science, and technology. Uranus deals with the maverick, the pioneer, the brilliant breakthrough, and in the sign of Aries, brings forth new birth in the form of many seeds. As with all fire signs, Aries is about beginning things, so many thoughts and ideas will be seeded during this period, with only a few reaching full maturity. We all have the energy of Aries somewhere in our charts, and this is where we will be experiencing our own personal liberation and radical change. The people of the Middle East, Egypt, Tunisia, Libya, and Bahrain, are all expressing this on a social and political level in which there is a desire to liberate from tyranny and seek personal freedom. We likewise are rebelling against our internal or external tyrannies, whether from an untenable living or work situation, relationship, concept, belief system, definition of self. The self can only stay silent for so long. Another challenging manifestation of Uranus into Aries is the triple tragedy of the earthquake, tsunami, and nuclear meltdown in Japan. Previous earthquakes in this region coincided with Uranus transiting through Aries in 1927 and reached as far back as 900 AD, which was the first documented earthquake on that island nation. So in the scheme of world and cosmic events, this is nothing new, just the next evolution in the spiral. Yet, modern technology has brought more complexity to the story. What might be the fallout from the current crisis in Japan? Radical events require dramatic change. As Uranus deals with technology, we may totally reconfigure and/or dismantle our nuclear and energy systems over the next decade. The sacrifice of Japanese lives, either directly or through radiation poisoning, will force the world to rethink our policies and lies about separation. We are all interrelated, and that will become even more abundantly clear in the weeks and months ahead. In addition, with Pluto and Capricorn, a 15-year transit that we are currently experiencing that relates to corporations and the abuse of power, there is the issue of integrity within the TEPCO organization, as well as perhaps the collusion within the Japanese culture to not make waves. I know this may sound provocative, but there is a shadow side to everything. The orderliness and extreme civility of Japanese society, they are the quintessential Libra nation after all, may come at a cost to individuality, life, and resources. And in the spirit of balance, the conformity may need to be overturned, particularly in light of the reawakened warrior spirit pervading all. We will all be facing extreme odds in the Aryan portion of our natal charts, where we will be required to expand beyond our normal limitations. Electricity and fire are meant to spark the higher mind, and with Uranus and Aries, there is the possibility of a more universally awakened consciousness on the planet. The instinctual need to be is evident here, and within this new cycle we may see the development of a more evolved species. Yet, that will require, as mentioned earlier, a dismantling of the current reality construct. And as we approach the notorious Uranus-Pluto square of 2012, which is a shock aspect if there ever was one, we will need to be resourceful, flexible, courageous, and driven in order to navigate the very exciting but destabilizing energy this aspect represents. Basically, the upshot is take responsibility for creating your reality or die. The preceding pass of Uranus in Pisces from 2003 to 2011 focused on the chaos of our emotional climate and was reflected in the outer events of Thailand's 2004 tsunami, the devastation of Hurricane Katrina, and concluded with Japan's current disaster trifecta. Throughout these last 7 years, we may have been dealing with submerged emotional patterns that ultimately overwhelmed and overflowed like so many personal tsunamis. We are not separate from the world. On an archetypal level, the severe weather patterns may be related to current denial of the depth and pain of the emotional body. Fortunately, Chiron, planet of healing, now moving into Pisces, which is the sign of the collective unconscious, will more fully reveal the depth of our inner child wounding, but also provide the tools to reset our emotional barometers. We must take responsibility for the energy we generate, including our shadow material. A reigniting of spirit and new birth of self are emblematic of the energy of the times. We must begin to look at the whole of existence, not just its parts. That is death of the mind, body, and spirit. There is an interplay forever going on, and in observing the patterns of timing and energy, we can dance with and be in our totality. Quantum cosmology provides a magnificent yet subtle guide to navigating the terrain of our soul's journey. And right now, the immediate cosmic call to arms is to take leadership, first of ourselves and then out in the world. Like the Anima Mundi, One World in Concert is a real, living, breathing entity, and our goal is to bring consciousness to the wide variety of ancient and modern modalities that bring us more clearly in touch with our personal divinity. Please join us again at One World in Concert for our continuing dialogue with innovative spiritual and scientific thinkers, as well as upcoming segments of Quantum Cosmology, where we will focus on specific cycles of transformation in this very exciting and dynamic time in human history. Please subscribe to One World in Concert's YouTube channel, rate this video, and leave your comments. The future begins now.